You might be using ChatGPT already, but chances are you're doing it wrong and it's costing you time and money. I've made over $115 million in sales, but I have to keep innovating and learning to stay ahead of the curve. I'll show you how to use it like a pro to 10x your output in less time with real prompts and examples from my business. Here we go. Go to ChatGPT. You can use whatever you want, but that's what I like to use. And we're gonna try to start coming up with morning content ideas. That's one of the first things I'll use it for. So I'll say I need content ideas for IG Reels, the voice of Chidester, but with inspiration from Alex Hermosi, Cody Sanchez, whoever I think my most closest competitors are. I can use one of my buddies, whatever, you guys get the point, okay? And then you do that, and what will happen is it will start trying to pop out different reels. Okay, so this right here, I don't like that much. So what I could do next is I'd say, can you make them longer and have a hook, body, and CTA? Okay, you guys see this? This right here is perfect, right? So I could actually use this as an IG reel. If no one is buying, it's not the algorithm, your offer just sucks. Hook. Here's the body, because I asked for it, and then a CTA, which is what I think you need to have in Reels. So keep in mind as you're going through this, it's also what you can feed into it. ChatGPT is only as good as the questions you ask or what you ask it for. So you can easily do this. Now, these are, 5 different people's ideas. I could say, can you do 30 more Alex Mosey's voice? Okay, so I'm not saying this is the end all be all, but if you're trying to come up with ideas and you need different hooks or you need different topics, now with ChatGPT, it's like a little bit of a coach. It's a coach that's right in your back pocket that you can use at any time. So this is one of the first things I use it for, is just content ideation or ideas. Now, I've also had other videos where I'll show how I come up with YouTube videos or how I come up with IG Reels manually, like by going through and looking at different pieces of content, but this is an easier way, or if you're trying to put out more content for your team or you're trying to come up with different ideas, I think this is a great hack. And this is one of the first things I'll do. One of the other things I like to use it for is strategic planning. So I'll put it in a hypothetical situation. I have a portfolio company, so I'll just name that off. So I said, I have a company that helps high school students get into Ivy League colleges with a 90% success rate. I use Facebook ads to drive lead generation, and let's say I have a one-to-one coach to help me hire setters and closers. How can I strategically grow this business from 100K to 1 million a month, okay? Now, we'll see if it actually pops out something good. This can also help you think through strategically how to grow a business, right? Now, some of this stuff is kind of obvious, right? It's like dial in your offer, obviously. Optimize lead generation. Okay, so it's saying double down on Facebook ads, build an effective sales machine, streamline fulfillment, build authority, expand through partnership. So this may not be as good of an example versus I say, take that same offer and come up with the 3 best selling points I can use in my marketing. So again, it's the level of the questions. It also depends on how much you're wanting it to think for you. So this one right here, I actually like a lot, right? It's 90% acceptance rate. That's obviously got to be one of the pillars. I do not like this one, one-on-one coaching with former Ivy League insiders. And then from confused to accepted, we handle the entire process, right? So when I talk about selling, and if you've seen some of my sales presentations, I will talk about you need to have 3 pillars. 3 pillars is the 3 key things of why someone would want to work for you. So this is another way I'll do it, is strategically thinking about different pillars or how to scale a business, or like a question I would ask a coach. That's kind of the question you can use here is, I'm having this bottleneck. This is what's happening. How would you fix it? Next thing I love this for is course planning. So I actually just created an entire curriculum. You guys can actually check it down in the link below. It's a school community. And this entire community, this is my free group right here that you can see on the screen. And you can go in here and this is the curriculum that it helped build out. And then the rest of the curriculum, because you're going, well, hey, there's only 1 or 2 sections, 3 sections in there. The rest of it's in the paid community, okay? And that's this page right here. So what I think is super interesting is when I went to ChatGPT and had it build me out a course, it did super, super well, okay? So I would say I need a curriculum for helping business owners build online companies. It needs to cover offer, leads, sales, hiring, training, and client fulfillment. Can you help me strategize the videos for each section that is needed. I need at least 4 videos per section. Now, you can also ask it to actually help you come up with the sections, right? But that's where I feel as a business owner, if you're trying to build a business, you should kind of know what should be in the curriculum. And then you can have ChatGPT help you figure out specifically what videos. Because sometimes what I've noticed is with a beginner, someone who's watching or learning about business, things that are not easy for them are very easy for me, and I'll oversee that. And that's why usually when you're making curriculum, you want to make it easy to digest. You want to make it as simple as a little 3rd grader or a little baby could figure it out. And so I'll type this in to ChatGPT, and we'll see what's going to give me. Okay, so it gives me 6 core modules, right? Because I obviously gave it that. It gives me 4 different videos per each one. And these may not be as good, right? Because I'll go through and I'll actually, say, hey, I don't really like, module 2, I don't really like video 1. Can you come up with a different name? Or could you come up with more? But what happened, and I'll actually show you guys on an Excel sheet, is we created this on an Excel sheet. And this right here, if you guys look, I'll actually back this up. This was the entire curriculum. So the first week was Business OS, and we had about 15 videos. We even had some bonus videos because I also went to my team and said, hey, what is other stuff we can put in there that clients are asking for? You can also get feedback from your clients, but we put that into ChatGPT, we asked the team, and this is what we came up with. Then we went into week 2, which is about leads. We had about 15 videos. Week 3 was conversions, which is like more sales and marketing. We had about 10 or 12 videos. Then we went to week 4, it's more about fulfillment. It's about another 10 videos. Then we had bonuses. And what I really liked about doing this is I was able to go back to ChatGPT and see if I was missing anything. It's like, hey, I was thinking about putting these videos in there. Is there anything else you can think of? The thing I like to use it for is, again, it's helping me create more ideas. It's helping me refine my ideas. Because again, when you're thinking of stuff, you really are usually wondering, hey, is this good? Can I get some feedback? And ChatGPT is kind of my feedback. So you can actually create a course curriculum in my free school community. You guys can check out the link below. You can actually see in here, I actually show you how to use ChatGPT in more depth and where I actually build out the entire curriculum. It's in this section, okay? So if you guys wanna see that, just click the link down below, go inside the free school community. You can check out these videos, and I actually will go more in depth. Like you see this video right here, it's 20 minutes just on creating the curriculum, okay? But this is definitely a great way to use ChatGPT, and it's one of the ways I like to use it because it's simple, it helps you think, and it helps refine your ideas. The next thing up I really like to use it for is landing pages, okay? So I could come here, and I'll show you just a random page, but if I have a landing page that's not performing, okay, it's not doing so well. So let's say I come down to here. These pages are not getting a lot of traffic, so it's hard to see, but this has an 8% opt-in rate, this has a 6% opt-in rate, okay? This is also says May 30th, so it's not getting a whole lot of traffic. I'm actually, to be quite honest, I'm not so sure how the traffic's getting there, but if I look at these 2 pages, and what we're looking for is 20%, by the way, so these are not doing very well, but they also don't have a lot of volume. So usually you want to get about 1,000 views to get a real number. But if I go here and I see this headline, the biggest thing on a landing page is the actual headline, right? That's what actually makes the biggest difference in terms of getting conversions. So if I go to, let's say here, I say, write me a headline that will convert at, let's say 20% or more. This one is only at 8%. And then yeah, there we go. It has to be for the headline because I forgot to put it in. This is the headline converting at 8%, okay? All right, there we go. Okay, so first off, it says, hey, here's why it's not converting. Here's how you can try to get to the 20% goal. And then it starts giving me different options, right? Pretty cool, okay? So it doesn't mean it's gonna work, but if you're stuck, that's another thing I like, is if you're stuck and you're out of ideas and you've tried and you've already put the best headline you can think of, and then you're trying to come up with something better that converts, this is a very easy way to do it. You just get different options from here and you rotate the headlines. And one of the key things I try to do with my team is once a week, they will rotate the headlines, right? So if it's not converting, we will split test a different headline that we think might work. And when you're trying different headlines, like end of the day, you just gotta get data. So like we'll throw this in there and then we'll try to see if it works better, okay? So that's how I do headlines. I think it's an easy hack. It's very simple and it can work really well. Next thing up is I like to use it for webinar scripting or VSL. So one of the ways I do this, I'll actually show you guys. So first you have to find a webinar or a VSL. So if I go to here, he's got almost 1 million followers. I go to about, I go to page transparency and it's running ads, right? So I'll come down here, go to add library. And what I will try to do is I will click on learn more. Okay, so I could come here and I could say, take the VSL on this page and create me similar frameworks for my fitness offer. So let's just say you're doing fitness, okay? So you put that in there and then it will create you a framework for your VSLs. Now, I already have frameworks over the years that we will give clients templates, but if you're trying to get something good, it's gonna break this down and then you can go in there and obviously because this is broken down, it gives you a template. Well, a lot of times what I try to do, especially even with YouTube videos, this video, I'm not scripting word for word because I want it to sound natural. I want you guys to actually hear what I have to say, what I think, but I'll have scripts. And so if you look at this framework here, bold hook to start, relatable point, personal story and credibility, introduce a solution, highlight the benefits and features, social proof. Like to me, that's good. I need this, so let's say to convert at 3% on cold traffic, it good enough, or would you add more? Okay, so I can ask that question. And okay, so it kind of gives me like similar stuff. And then the cool thing too is like as you're asking questions, you can see as you're trying to refine it or you're saying, hey, ChatGPT, I need more, see if it's really different. The next thing that I like to use it for is client delivering SOPs. So I could say, when clients come in our program, they pay us money, okay? Get onboarding, email, and text. Get a personalized, you may not even have this, but I'll show you two different ways. You could give it your current SOPs and then you can change it depending on what it gives you, or you can ask for SOPs. So get a personalized video, send them a gift, do an onboarding call. What else can we add? Okay, so I could ask it that. Another thing you could possibly do is you can ask it what else you can add in. Again, it gives you ideas. Some of this stuff I don't need, right? Like we have a library access. We have like we don't have a quick start diagram, but that's actually a decent idea. We have a Facebook group. We have a FAQ. They do have an accountability partners, etc. But this gives you different ideas. If I was starting, you could say from scratch, what should my SOPs be for client fulfillment, right? And you could ask that. So the benefit of ChatGPT now is it's giving you instant feedback. Like you even look at this, okay, take the payment info, onboarding communication, onboarding call, program access, ongoing client support, client progress tracking, issue resolution, escalation. Like it kind of hits the stuff that you may already kind of know, but it kind of reinforces it or it helps change your ideas. So again, like client fulfillment is a great way you could use this as well. And then last but not least, but this is actually one of my favorite ones, we actually built our own bot for our curriculum. So what we did is we took all the videos from my new Sell and Scale community, which you guys can click the link down below. It's free. You can come in there. We have our free one, and then we have our paid one, okay? So if you go to school and you type in Sell and Scale, you'll see a free one and a paid one. What we did is we took all the videos and curriculum inside that curriculum, and then we uploaded it to ChatGPT, so we made our own bot. So I could actually come in here, and I could say, how should I structure my offer? And it takes it from our database of curriculum and answers the question. I could say, where in the curriculum are the videos on this, okay? And what we've done is inside our curriculum, I'll show you guys in just a second, but we've actually put a link to this. So it tells people where the videos are, how they can find them. So if I go inside the free group, what's cool is at the bottom, we say, hey, PS need help or support, ask the Sell and Scale bot AI. We also do it in our paid community. And the benefit is they can now ask the questions, and it's with ChatGPT, right? But the benefit is it's more specific on that curriculum versus ChatGPT just has all kinds of information. Because remember, these AI agents, these bots, ChatGPT, etc., is only as good as the questions you ask it, and it's really the information it's given. So if it has information from all over the world versus just specifically your curriculum, it might give a different answer. And so that's been another thing that has really taken, I think, our curriculums to the next level, and it's something that's super easy that you can implement that would take your curriculum to the next level. In the next video, I'll break down how I built $1 million+ school group without any fancy tech or funnels. Go ahead and just click here.